Could this actually be the best movie of the year so far? Let's jump in and find out. Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash. And today we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once, an A24 movie. But before I carry on, please hit the subscribe button just there, just below, and join the family. Now, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a new movie starring Michelle Yeoh, Kwan, Jamie Lee Curtis and James Hong, directed by Kwan and Daniel Surratt. So Michelle Yeoh is a dissatisfied wife who's depressed and feels like she's been beaten up and she's made poor choices in her life. But she comes across and finds that there's a multiverse and that she could be the key to fixing its oncoming doom. And she's able to tap into the abilities of all the other versions of her in the multiverse to take down this oncoming doom. So when I went in to see this movie, I hadn't seen any trailer. I knew nothing about the story. I only know a handful of people that were in it, and I only heard about the buzz, and it was a lot of buzz going around. So I had to go and check it out. And you know what? I wasn't disappointed at all. So let's just jump straight into the positive. Michelle Yeoh. I've been a big fan of hers since Super Cop back in the 90s, the early 90s with Jackie Chan, and I followed her career pretty much as I can with Crouching Tiger. I even liked her in the Bond film that not everyone likes, as Tomorrow Never Dies. I'm sure she was in Shang-Chi recently, and well, let me tell you, this is probably the best acting from her, best performance we've ever seen from her before, well, I've ever seen, and I'm sure others will agree. She brings so much life and soul to this character, from the depressed wife to kung fu master to jumping around with the humor, with the depression. She brings her A game on this, and that is my first positive. Next, I'm going to bring up Kwan. Now, I haven't seen him since The Goonies and Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Kwan, let's just call him Short Round or Data. I haven't, and you know what? My God, he brings it on this film. I mean, like, has he had like coaching classes or something since then? I don't know, but he's really good, and he's part of literally the heart and soul of this film. And mate, he can still fight. I mean, his moves, his kung fu skills on this were pretty decent. Whether he's been training for the film or he just knew it since the Temple of Doom was the only kung fu I see him do a little bit. He was great. Now, he's obviously a lot older now. I think he's probably in his late 40s, maybe early 50s. But, and it's hard, you wouldn't recognize him as such. But now and again, the odd word, the odd thing he would say would remind you of him being Data or a Short Round. And it was a nice little nut. It wasn't on purpose. It's just now and again, that's Data. Now, James Hong, another positive. His acting was really good. Now, he's been around the block for a few years, and I remember him on Big Trouble in Little China, The Golden Child, and Wayne's World. He played Wayne's father-in-law or something, and on this he plays the grumpy father, and he was really good on it. I mean, like, the guy, he probably deserves a few more films than this, like these small roles, but this was really good for him. And let me tell you something about him. He don't look any different since Big Trouble in Little China. He doesn't look a day older. I swear to God. I mean, maybe he has found the girls with the green eyes and got that secret powers. I don't know. But the guy still looks like he did on Big Trouble and Little China. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis. I didn't recognize her at first. I didn't know she was in it. And then when I did notice, I thought it was a cameo. But no, it isn't. It's quite a big part in it. And this is a different character to what I normally see her play. It was all over the place. It was out there, to be honest with you. It was crazy. And to me, it felt like she had a lot of fun making this. It looked like she had a lot of fun making this. And I really enjoyed her being in it. And she was a big part of the film. So that was another positive. This film looked really good. The cinematography was great. The CGI it wasn't a lot of it in there, but when it was pretty good. For a low budget movie. Some of the fighting was probably some of the best I've seen in a very, very long time. And that's including Short Round or Data, whatever you would like to call him. He was brilliant. Michelle Yeoh was brilliant. Some of the best I've seen in years. And if you love Kung Fu, this is definitely one for you. So when I was watching it, there was something that was reminding me of the first Matrix. You know, like, I can't explain it. You'll know when you see it. But they had a Matrix vibe on it. It didn't steal from the Matrix. Just a bit of a vibe there from it. And to be honest with you, I reckon this is the film that the Matrix 4 wish it was, but it wasn't. Now, we have a lot of multiverse. There's a multiverse thing going on with Marvel and DC and other films in general. The multiverse seems to be like a thing these days. Now, this is a multiverse thing, but it has its own original take on the multiverse with infinity possibilities and infinity realities, and we got to see all of them. And it was an original take on their version of that. Now, the pacing. The film is about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so, and it never stops. It never lets up. Every scene and every piece of dialogue is important to the film. There is no filler, there is no nothing. It's great. And they're able to add humor in with the story as telling the story. And the humor, I'm not going to kid you, some of the humor, and I have a mixed bag about this, but some of the humor actually had me laughing out loud. There was some bits that it was just, that was crazy. But that brings me to my negatives. So, negatives. This is a sci-fi action stroke comedy film. And as I said, I have a mixed bag about the humor. Some of the humor was actually laugh out loud, that I actually chuckled really loudly. And then I felt like they crossed a little line there where it went from funny silly to silly silly. Now, that's just me because I'm an old grumpy git, and you know, because other people were laughing in it. But just, I wish they hadn't gone there with that. But you know what? It's just my opinion. Everyone else is laughing, just me, so I'm a grumpy bastard.
Just testing.
Now, that brings me to my next negative. So, at first, I felt the film quite jarring. It's so fast and so much is going on at the beginning. I actually started to feel like, was I missing something? And when you feel like you're missing something, that something you've missed or something's gone over your head because of the story wasn't connecting just there, you think to yourself, oh, have I missed something and it's annoying? But that's just a heads up, because not long after, it does seem to make sense and I hadn't missed a thing. So it was just a little heads up. And I would say it's more of a nitpick. It ain't really a negative. It's just at first, so much is going on. It just feels like it was a little jarring. I don't know what was going, have I missed something? And then it all made sense. So my final thoughts. If the title of Multiverse of Madness hadn't been taken already by Doctor Strange, this would have been a fitting title for this film. But you know what? Everything Everywhere All at Once is just as crazy. All in all, this is a really well-made movie with great acting, great storytelling that makes us look at the different choices we've made in our lives whilst giving us hope and taking us on this action-packed thrill ride, what you won't forget easily. So I'm going to have to give this film a 2 thumbs up. It definitely is a contender for the best film of the year so far, without a doubt. And you should check it out. If you get a chance to see it, go and see it over anything else that's out at the moment, 100%. So, have you seen this movie? What did you think? Do you want to see it? Do you like Michelle Yeoh? Do you like Short Round? Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe as normal. But for now, and until next time,